we have a van, a bus, a boat.
And a little casita.
It's a fleet, a nomadic fleet. And we're going to talk today about all how they all fit and
how we compare, contrast, and maintain them.
Staying on the path that I've chosen, straight up. Come my way and I'll see you at the top. 'Cause something's gonna happen in this story, and I can feel it coming like the rising of the sun. Straight up.
So we have been on the road now for 15 years. We've traveled by all sorts of different RVs. And in the last 3, we've settled on a fleet mentality.
Yeah, so rather than just having a single thing and that being our focus, we found that we really enjoy the variety of being able to mix it up from everything ranging from a boat to a vintage bus with literally a van in between.
Shuttlecraft.
A shuttlecraft. And that does really kind of have certain complications. It's kind of an unusual mix, but it really, really fits us well and opens up so many interesting doors for us.
So over the years, we used to travel very fast, staying places a few nights, maybe a couple of weeks at a time, and occasionally having a month or 2 stay. But the longer we were on the road, the more we wanted to have more of base camps and being places for a few months at a time. So this setup has been working really well for us. And let's go talk about each, because it's chilly out here. Let's get inside.
Let's go in the bus.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Zephyr is the oldest in our fleet. We got her in 2011. She's a 1961 GM 4106.
Which means we could take her into 55 and up parks.
Because she's now 60.
She's 60, yes. And yeah, we love our bus. We've got so much stuff documented about the history of our bus and how we've transformed it. It wasn't a passenger bus when we got it. It had already been converted to an RV, but we've basically redone almost everything in this thing.
Yes, all the RV systems are pretty much been updated as of 2015. We had an engine rebuild back in 2013. So really she's a modern RV on a vintage chassis. We love about it is, well, she's unique. But we did live full-time in this from 2011 when we got her up until 2017 when we started integrating in boating. So this was our full-time home for 6 years.
And we went to all corners of the country in this. Mm-hmm. And traveling by bus is fun. You feel like you're something special on the highway, but this is a 1961 vehicle, and so you're 55 miles an hour is your cruising speed. You can get up to 65. I think I got to 71 once on a slight downhill with a tailwind. But it's not a modern vehicle. It's
right. The systems are aging. I mean, it is a commercial vehicle as well. So airbags and air braking systems and things like that. It's got even though we rebuilt the engine in 2013, the number of mechanics left that can work on a 2-stroke diesel engine are limited. So we've gotten kind of cautious with, especially since we're not using it all year round and not on top of we're not always doing
bus maintenance.
And so we're not intending anymore to travel much at all in the bus. It's mostly going to be a home base.
It's going to be our Southwest desert home base, and we'll probably in future years when we have more time, we'll do some desert boondocking, because this is a boondocking machine. We've got huge tanks. That's one of my favorite things about the bus is the tanks can last a month if we're conservative. We've got solar on top. And it is wonderful out in the desert. So we'll probably be using it for some desert adventures and stuff. But I don't really see us, going up to Maine or Florida or big cross countries in this, because we've got the other things in our fleet that are more suited for that sort of nimble maneuvering. And this will be our desert queen.
Right. But I have loved being back in Zephyr this year. We've unfortunately, since we've started this fleet thing, Zephyr has been kind of left in the cold, in the heat, a little too often, because we will leave her stored and we end up not returning as soon as we expect. It's been 1.5 years, 2 years in between our 2 trips back to Zephyr so far. And that makes me sad, because we love Zephyr so much.
Such a comfortable space to live
and
in.
She's ours. We created so much of this. Whether we hired people or did it ourselves, Zephyr is us. This is part of who we are. It's part of our branding.
This is our baby. We worked on every little corner of this thing. So
of all of our vessels, this is the one my heart belongs to. So it's been great to be back. The space is just comfortable, even though there's no slides and it's a narrow body. It's only 8 feet wide.
Those are pluses to me.
It feels spacious because it was built around those constraints.
Yes.
It's comfortable. It's got the most storage space for. I think our kitchen is the best of them all in this one. Maybe the boat's slightly better, but I like the kitchen in this one.
Yeah, the big sink, and I mean, this is such a. And Kiki likes certain things about the kitchen. She loves having water dribbled in her mouth.
Yes,
so I think she really loves being on the bus too.
Right.
This is kind of, I guess, I'd say the queen of our fleet in some ways.
Yeah, we'll call Zephyr our queen.
Yes, there we go.
Our Priscilla, queen of the desert.
Yes, something like that. Next up in our fleet is the floating part of our fleet, our boat, Why Not?
Now, Why Not is a 1999 Bayliner 4788, and we got her in 2017. We are coming up on 5 years of having a boat, which is mind-boggling to me.
And we have loved that shift from RVing to boating, and it is just, it's a whole new set of adventures, a whole new set of skills to learn, whole new set of things to fix when they break, a whole lot of stuff that can break. But boat life has really suited us, and it has been a wonderful way to explore the East Coast.
Now, we originally got the boat. Now, when we were first dating back in 2006, 2007, we talked about eventually getting a sailboat. And we actually did shop for a sailboat back in about 2009, 2010, and decided sailboats are a lot of work. And we're still working full-time. That wasn't what we were up for. But we eventually came around to wanting to do the Great Loop, which is mostly intercoastal waterways going up and down the East Coast, going inland into the canal systems like the Erie Canal, into the Great Lakes.
Through Canada and back down and around. Kind of like RVing on water. You're going to a lot of really cool towns and visiting them. But instead of campgrounds, you're floating.
And while sailboats can do it if you demast, because there's a lot of fixed bridges along the way, a motor yacht or a trawler is more ideal for it to do it comfortably.
We really surprised ourselves that we decided that we wanted to jump from having, our boating experience being an inflatable kayak to we bought a 47-foot motor yacht. But for us, we kind of use it as a floating condo. We'll go to places and stay for a month or even longer.
2 years.
In the case of Sanford, we've been there a lot longer. But then we have this wonderful downtown condos. Sometimes we're in amazing cities like Charleston where the $1 million views of these multi-million dollar condos, they're looking at us, and we're staying cheap on the docks.
Well, cheap. We're paying anywhere between $700 and $1,200 a month, typically for a monthly spot in cool marinas smack dab downtown. So that's been a great contrast to RVing, where it's rare to find RV parks downtown with walking. It's cool stuff. But the boat has amazing space. It's our largest. Obviously, of all of them, I think it's even larger than almost all combined. It's about 750 square feet of living space.
Particularly when you factor in the decks and stuff on board.
Which is, when you're anchored out, your whole boat is your island. But it's a great living space. We've got 2 bedrooms, we've got 2 bathrooms, a bathtub. We now have a hot tub on deck. It's comfortable for both of us to drive. We both enjoy it. We love moving at 7-8 miles per hour. It's a great pace. It's a condo. We're finding we've become less about the loop itself and completing, this. We will probably
we're
one
slow
day.
Sloopers. Yes.
And we've really just come to loving the cruising and live aboard lifestyle, where we might cruise for a few weeks, enjoy anchoring out, short visits to town, and then finding our next port of call and staying there for a while and really getting to know the places we are. And it's been a great condo for that.
Yeah, but then again, a boat does move very slowly, and you can't just hop from one part of the country to another. It is an epic voyage in some cases to go to different places. So it is a strong contrast from RVing in that regard, is that you're hopping. Sometimes we might just do 20 miles in a day, and even a long trip, we're moving very slowly. And if you want to mix it up and really see far-flung places, we've loved still having an RV in the mix for us.
No, absolutely. And especially as we get further north, we're not going to want to be like returning really in a rushed mode back to the south where it's warmer. We're intending to winterize the boat as we get further north for the winters and returning to RV life, which comes into how this casita that we're sitting in plays into
our fleet.
Now, the casita doesn't move.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. That's the hope.
Earthquakes? No, yeah.
So we are in Benson, Arizona at the Skip Saguaro Co-op RV Park. We found this park many years ago when visiting friends here and just fell in love with the concept. We have a lifetime lease to our lot here. So this lot is pretty much ours. We are responsible for it, and ours had this little casita on it. It's a 288 square foot building.
So basically, we've turned it into a living room / office / storeroom.
It's basically a little studio apartment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can't set it up as a house, so
can't live in it.
Apartment's not the right word at all. That's why they call them casitas. But we have our setup as a living room / workout room / office space. We do
labs work and stuff. And
we'll do filming in here. It's a great place to spread out in the winters and use this as our home base for exploring and getting out. The bus, we can leave it here. We have storage. We can leave the bus here in storage while they're on the lot or the storage lot here.
That is kind of the great perk is like while we're off in the boat and doing boaty things, our bus has a place that it can live. You know, it's got a storage lot that comes with the lease here. So it is this becomes our desert home base.
And yeah, this is our second time since we became leaseholders in 2018 back at our lot in Benson, and it's just comfortable and fabulous. We have a great community here. It is a 55 plus up park. We are under 55. They do allow up to 20% of
the population,
the residents to be under 55. And we have a lot of our escapers friends. You have to be an escapees member to buy a lease here. But we have a lot of our escapers friends who either have also gotten leases here or are on the list to become leaseholders, or they stop in for a visit because you can rent a lot here too. So it's been a great place for us to get that nice trickle of community through.
And this is fabulous. And this is a great jumping off point for the entire Southwest because it's right here on I-10, and you have access to all of Arizona easily, and you get into New Mexico, and just great jumping off point to do the kind of desert exploration that we're looking forward to, and. It's just.
So this is the fit. This is where Zephyr and our winter home base is. We intend to spend our winters, at least part in Arizona, probably also in Florida back with family. But this gives us that jumping off spot and the place just to spread out a bit and enjoy community for a while.
And then on to our shuttlecraft.
So when we originally conceived of this idea, okay, we're going to have the boat on the East Coast and the bus on the West Coast. Coast, not really. Maybe one day this will be a coast. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
But yeah, on the western half in Arizona, we had a Mini Cooper that we used to tow behind
the bus. And the Mini Cooper is a great drive around car, but it is a horrible cross country road trip.
I did it once with a cat on my shoulder.
Yes,
back to the gills because we always have stuff that we have to move between them, and that just was uncomfortable. And we were just like, well, maybe we'll fly now because we're close to Tucson. We can get flights in pretty close and just rent a car for the season or keep the car here. Yeah. Or maybe we would take the train, which you can't take the cat on. But I don't like flying. And there's a lot in between.
That we want to see.
Yeah, that the boat is at. His parents live in between. We have lots of friends. So yeah, we could have car camped and couch surfed. But we came up with the idea. I think we were joking one day. We were talking about getting a Tesla, as we didn't need to tow behind the bus anymore since we're not going to be moving miles in it. So we didn't need something that was flat towable. We thought about getting a Tesla to do the drives.
Let it auto drive us. Yeah, just autopilot, go.
Great, because we love technology, right? But then we would still be doing hotel stays and would feel kind of like we're on a rush to do it because there's only so many nights in a row that hotels are comfortable or fun. So that was like, well, for the price of a Tesla, we can
buy
get
a van.
We thought we're really originally thinking small little like Vanagon sort of thing. It'd be really minimalist and to get across country, but to be able to slow down the pace and do campgrounds and driveway surfing with friends. And we started looking at vans.
And we fell in love. We got an older van just to try the concept out and see if we liked van life. And
Older being 2016. You have to specify.
Yeah,
everything else is much older.
Relative to Zephyr, brand new. But yes, and we fell in love with van life. Just loving that flexibility that it gave us of being able to do a cross country trip and make the trip in months instead of weeks or days, and really enjoy the trip and the adventure of it all, and be able to explore. And then also when we're on the boat, it gave us a great way to get out and just do short trips, to go out for a couple days or a week at a time and explore places on land that you couldn't get to by water. So hitting up state parks and things like that.
The van has worked out great. We loved the 2016 van that we started out with. We got that in 2019, actually, and had that for about a year and a half. And when, of course, in the middle of the pandemic, when RVing has gone nutso, we decided we wanted a newer van with all the bells and whistles, and we settled on the Travato GL. We love the floor plan. It works great for the way we like to travel, the way we sleep, the way we like to work and have separate living spaces. And we lucked into one thanks to a YouTube viewer who had just bought one and wanted the other model, and we were able to buy it from him, and it's been fabulous. We did a 3-month trip getting from Florida to Arizona
by way of New Hampshire and New York City.
Don't always have to take the direct route.
And we actually just did the numbers, and for 2021 we spent more nights in the van than any of our other homes, other parts of our fleet.
Between that trip and all the little side trips that we did during 2021. So the van has just proven to be an excellent way. The thing I like about it is new, so it's less likely to have the mechanical issues that Zephyr does, or the boat does. Hopefully. Less odds. Anyway, they're under warranty. It's our only vehicle under warranty right now.
That's true.
As far as
some parts of it.
The van part of it. So it's been a great way. I look forward to going out into the van. We even did a couple little van trips while here in Arizona, because we hadn't gone up the bus. Yeah. We didn't do a full safety inspection on the bus this season.
Well, and just if you're going out for 2 or 3 days at a time, the van is so perfect for that. If we're going out for 2 or 3 weeks or doing a longer desert boondock, then the bus would be perfect for that. So we love having the flexibility. And a couple of years ago, I never would have imagined having a fleet, and now I couldn't pick of a piece that I would remove from the equation.
And because we've been apart from Zephyr for so long, we start to get, after about a year, start to think, is it right to still keep the bus? And, it's like every vessel has a fit in our lives. And if anything, we miss our vessels more when we're away from them. And
it makes them appreciate it.
And I look so forward to return to them. Like right now, we're wrapping up a couple months with Zephyr, and we've been with the van. I'm looking forward to getting back to Wynot. We've not seen her since July.
I miss our boat. And we're going to be back on the water, and then eventually we'll be missing our bus, and we'll do a big van trip, and we'll be back here again. And we kind of get the best of all worlds by embracing having a fleet.
Now, there are downsides. There's obviously, you have 3 mechanical things to maintain. So we have to have a maintenance on all of them.
But we don't have a car, so we did take that out of the equation.
Yeah, that is very true. So really, we went from 2 vehicles to 3. Plus, the houses, the casitas, has a little bit of maintenance.
I had to fix the screen door this year. It was torn.
See?
Yeah.
Maintenance.
Maintenance.
So there's oil changes, there's safety inspections, there's just the general wear and tear that you put on a vehicle when you drive it. Yeah. There's insurance that you have to keep on all of them. So even though, like Zephyr stays in storage, to keep her fully insured, it's the same price whether we're living in her, traveling in her, or she's in storage. We've tried to find a way around it and haven't been able to. So we have 3 insurance policies that we're paying for all year round. There's storage, of course.
We get storage for Zephyr included with our lot here in Benson. But the boat we're paying for a slip in a marina that is we haven't been at since July. So
right now, there's a different rate for storage versus living aboard. Usually, you get about $100 a month savings plus some electrical savings. And then when we're leaving the boat behind, we definitely need someone that we trust there at that marina or in the area to keep an eye on her. Someone who can go aboard and look at things for her.
Check the bilges, all the good
Right,
stuff.
or we need to haul out and store on land, which has its own costs and storage fees as well. So,
and particularly as we get the boat further north and we're hauling out in the winter, then we've got winterization concerns and all that stuff. So it is a lot more to me. It's definitely simpler to have just a single vehicle to focus on.
And there's moving. I mean, part of the reason we got to RVing instead of doing travel by car and plane and moving in and out of Airbnbs and hotels was to not have to pack and move. Well,
now we have to pack and move.
Now we have to pack and move. Now each one has its own general setup. Like they each have their own, silverware, forks and cooking gear and things like that. But we're moving clothes in, technology in, because we're always upgrading our technology.
And since we're working, we're carrying around all of our work gear, which is a lot of transporting. I think we had like 12 routers packed into the van for this past trip because we're testing them. So yeah, we have too much tech at the moment.
But yeah, so there is some moving on and off. But we try to minimize it by having duplicated stuff. So we're just really moving on the clothes that we need for that season.
Overall, I mean, I'm really liking this kind of multi-fleet setup, and I wouldn't mind adding a Zeppelin to the mix at some point.
No, it has worked out great. And it's a great mix for people like us that we're varietiophiles. It's not just about being in new locations. We love just changing up our we're homebodies too, so that's where we spend most of our time.
Yeah, we love changing our views. We love changing what we're viewing out from. And we love the cycling of new and different projects. It keeps everything fresh. And I don't know, it's fun. We don't know too many other people who are kind of living the fleet life, but if you are considering it, maybe think beyond a single vessel. And it's
we know a lot of people with RVs and boats.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know too many that have RVs and two RVs in a boat, but they're probably out there. If you are,
let us know.
Introduce yourself. We need to meet up.
Fleet club.
No, we have a fleet yacht club of some sort.
Yes.
That'd be cool. Anyway, that's the fleet status. We are about to finish packing up here in Benson, leaving Zephyr behind, taking the van back across country and seeing why not.
We got a month ahead of van life and then back to boat life. Ta-da!
See you back on the boat.
Now we know some will say it's not realistic to be able to purchase a boat, a bus, and a van. Well, if you combine the cost of all three, it's really not that bad. For a total of about $270,000 in purchase costs, well, you try buying a house in today's market for that in any city that we might want to settle down in. We think it's not a bad deal to have three amazing homes that pretty much always have $1 million views. We create these videos just for fun, and we love having you along for the ride. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, or if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. See you next time.